Always turned on.
You ready?
Oh, Blades. You make me blush there.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Untap.
Welcome back to MTGYou, the Magic the Gathering podcast for you. I'm James.
Yeah, that song has really got that in my head now of just walking out of the tunnel. I'm Blades.
If the arrows block out the sun, we'll fight in the shade. I'm Peter.
It's Thursday, the 20th of November, 2014. We're coming to you live from Studio U. Thanks for joining us. This is episode 60.
Howdy.
Upkeep.
Oh, and there's that. So we're past the untap step. We're in the upkeep, obviously, because that's what the bumpers say. So I don't have to actually repeat that. But for some reason, after 60 episodes, I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, it'd be best if you didn't repeat it.
Yeah, it just makes the transitions like pretty much meaningless, huh?
In fact, I think everybody would be more happier if you just didn't talk at all.
Just let the disembodied voices speak for themselves.
How's things going this week? You'd notice we have a limited number of people today. We have Blades, who wasn't here last week, but he is today.
I'm back.
And we have Peter coming to us from the great state of Ohio.
Yes, sir. Deep in the heart of the Black Swamp.
Is there actually a black swamp in Ohio?
There was. That's what they call our region. It used to be this. Actually, it was called the Black Swamp because of the color of the mud. So, yeah.
Not the armpit of America.
No, that's further west.
Oh, Utah. Yes,
I
sir.
didn't say that. I didn't.
He did not say that, and yeah, that's not true.
Entirely.
Anyway, Abandoned Outpost is still up on the screen. I didn't mean that to be. However,
Yeah, where did that come from?
I don't know. It's just something I clicked on just to get things.
It's just pretty.
It is
there
an
we go.
Odyssey land.
So, chat room, how are you tonight? I just want to say hi. There's not too much going on in there, but I want to say hi. We're here for you. I'm monitoring the chat room tonight, so if I ignore you, I apologize. What's in the news this week?
So we had two GPs. First one, GP Madrid, was modern, and looking at the top 8, it wasn't really anything like what people were forecasting. It was pretty diverse on what was actually doing well. A few pod decks made it up there, which surprised quite a few people since everybody was expecting a Delvering Treasure Cruise style decks to really take the forefront, and a lot of proponents for pod were really claiming that it was unplayable.
Huh. So what makes pod then a good choice then in our current environment then?
I don't know, because the big Delver decks, they play a lot of lightning bolt effects and a lot of just tempo-y style decks, and it didn't look good for the pod since they have to take a lot of damage. Even though they got the Kitchen Finks to help recuperate some of that damage, they still take quite a bit over time.
Huh, but so what came out on top?
It was Delver, actually.
Oh.
Like, the only Delver that busted into the top 8, it was a Goyf Delver list, just like a blue-red that splashed green just for Goyf and a few sideboard cards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
how did GP and New Jersey turn out? What's the story with that?
New Jersey, they supposedly broke 4,000 players.
So the big news is it's big, but that didn't make it. That wasn't as big as. That's not as big as like say Richmond, or wasn't Richmond one of the previous
I
ones?
think it was Richmond and Vegas. Vegas number 1. I think Richmond was number 2 or maybe number 4. But New Jersey, I believe, takes the 3rd slot.
And was that modern also?
That one was Legacy, which
yeah, that's
surprises
right.
everyone.
It was a huge. It just went to show that Legacy is thriving.
It is still definitely a format, but I think more or not, a lot of it had to do with the fact that it was hosted by Star City Games, and they had a lot of brainstorm swag to give out. I did hear that a lot of people entered just to get the swag and then dropped afterwards, somewhere around 200 is what I've heard, but I haven't confirmed any of it. But
still, I mean, 200 people signing up and dropping out of 4,000. That's still pretty impressive numbers.
That's insanely impressive. Granted that a lot of the players probably didn't have entirely functioning Legacy decks. Like you could just play a modern or standard deck in Legacy, and you're still fine. So I'm sure that happened on quite a few occasions, but that's still a lot of numbers.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? I mean, obviously, we've seen modern like exploding. Do you think that Legacy has a chance of exploding like that?
To where they're not printing new product in Legacy, I think that it's more doubtful.
Yeah.
I think that we're pretty much more capped on where we're at. I don't foresee it getting too much bigger than what it is right now. Modern is definitely going to grow. They're still supporting that format and pushing more products to it, even with the highly speculated Modern Masters 2 to come out this next early summer.
Damnation reprint, please, please, please.
I'm hoping.
Eventually, yeah. What's the draw to Legacy? I mean, why would someone go to Legacy? Why would somebody want to play Legacy? What would be the?
Because you can play any of the cards that you liked from back in the day. It
Plus,
attracts a lot of the older players.
Yeah, there's that prestige to it too. I mean, I know guys who will talk about it and they'll be like, I'm thinking about building a Legacy deck, and be like, Legacy,
Oh, okay.
It's like, you've got the money to get those lands, man. I mean, because you can drop generally a couple of $100 on a modern deck, but it's generally $1,000 or more on a super
easily.
Legacy
You're looking
deck,
at over 1,000 for sure.
Yeah.
I think
just
the
to get
average is
into it.
somewhere between 2 to 4K.
Yeah, for a competitive deck.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so Peter, you got something this week, right? Didn't I see you tweet something about that this week? That.
Yes, indeed. Well, let me bring it up here. And I'll show you.
All right. Oh,
Yeah,
it's a box.
It is. The Magic Holiday boxes are out, folks.
Yeah,
They
that's
are
definitely on my wish list.
This is the third year they've done it. The first year it was Return to Ravnica, and it was a blue box. Last year it was Theros, and it was a green box. And this year it is Khans of Tarkir, and it is a pretty nifty red box. It's got Zurgo, the Helm Smasher, and other Mardu clan folk on there. But it comes with 4 packs of Khans. It comes with a exclusive foil Sultai charm. It also comes with this is the thing that I think is really cool about it, because the packs and the Sultai charm, or the packs and the exclusive card, are things that tend to get all the play. But the boxes are basically built to be organizational boxes.
Right.
So it comes with a slew of labels with basically, I mean, all the sets that have pretty much ever come out in Magic with their emblems, different mana symbols, different categories for the different kinds of cards, their rarity. Basically, anybody who is OCD like me about how they organize their Magic cards is going to have a field day with this. It also comes with, hold on.
Oh, the dividers.
Yes, which are.
I love the dividers. They're full art dividers that are printed on a nice plastic.
They are, and they're fabulous.
Yeah.
I love them.
I like how sturdy the boxes are. I have 2 of them. I'll probably get this one for Christmas.
I've heard that they started to slack a little bit on the boxes. How is this box compared to the last few?
I feel like this box is just as good as the Theros box.
Okay, good.
The one thing I notice is, the boxes are divided into thirds on the inside, and the dividers, I mean, and this is just going to be the case, but tend to bow out a little bit. Like you might find that they're bowed when you get it, but I mean, you put your cards in there and it'll get right back to normal. It's no big deal.
Okay.
But I got this one. It wasn't given to me as a gift. I got it as just for myself. Because I think the MSRP is like $30. I found this on Amazon for under 20. So
Oh.
you can pretty much find these for a lot cheaper than.
So what I need to do is get one, give it to my wife or kids to give me on Christmas. That's
Yes,
usually how it works.
it is a present to me from me.
That's right. That they
it
can
keeps on giving the whole year long.
Exactly. Finally in the news, suspensions.
Yeah, we had a few more suspensions in a time where everybody is getting all weird about people cheating and stuff. We had a little bit of a kerfluffle about somebody supposedly cheating on coverage this last week, where they use a fetch land to go get a Birds of Paradise. That one's being roughly looked at, but I think that's people jumping a little bit to conclusions a little bit. That one's more than likely just a reasonable mistake. But
Seems sort of like a boneheaded, misstep to me than just straight out cheatery. But
yeah, absolutely. And but
Don't you think if that happened, though, someone would see it right away? Not.
they did see it right away.
Oh,
It
but
was seen, or at least it didn't matter in the match. Like from what I understand, it was very moderate on if it did matter or not. But the suspensions that actually did happen happened because a bunch of players were harassing a female judge.
so they should be. They should be
Yeah,
suspended.
so
There's
they
no room
were-
in this world for that right now. Why
But-
would? Yeah.
Yeah, from
No,
what I
what-
understand, there was a
so-
bunch of sketchy texts sent and
Oh.
such.
jeez.
And so yeah, it was a group of like 3 or 4 of them. I'm not certain on the numbers, but they each got like a 2-year ban, I believe.
Wow.
See, I think that's. I mean, and I'd love to hear. If one of these days we get Tifa back on the show, I'd love to hear what she'd say about this, because
Yeah.
that seems to show like a good, at least on the part of the the magic powers that be, like a good sort of outlook on, hey, we need to make sure that we're taking care of
Taking
female
a
play-
good stand
female-
on it rather than just saying, "Oh, boys will be boys."
Exactly.
Yeah, because that is absolutely
Yeah.
unacceptable.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, let's move along.
Draw step.
So first on our draw step today, unless you guys had anything else, I didn't even ask. Was there any other news that happened this week that you want to bring up?
Nothing I can think of.
Okay.
That was the big ones.
Yeah.
All right. So first up, we have Blades with.
Were we gonna do the click you?
Oh, let's see.
So, for those of you not in the know, apparently South Park released a episode all about Magic the Gathering.
Oh, I didn't hear about this. See, Click You versus news. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
maybe
should have.
maybe it's just news. But anyway, tell me about it.
It should have aired Wednesday night this past week, so yesterday from the time we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
And those who have seen it are pretty weirded out. Apparently, they did a weird sketch of Rich Hagon.
See, this is why I'm saying this isn't a Click You. This is this is probably more of a news item. Yeah.
Yeah,
Click You is more like, go check this out, where news is like, you gotta, wow. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna check it out eventually,
Well,
just
yeah.
because it's Magic the Gathering.
Obviously.
But even though I'm not a big proponent of South Park.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
have yet to watch it, but like folks who are on my in my Facebook who play Magic and have seen it are like, this is really spot on.
Really?
Like one guy even went so far as to say, folks, what I say I do every weekend? This is what I do.
Really?
No, and again, I'm saying this without having seen the episode, so I don't know if he's just joking or if he's trying to be serious. But I'm eager to see. I have the feeling that South Park's probably going to be more on the nose than anybody would like.
Oh yeah, I think that.
Unfortunately, so like they pretty much hit it on the nose with finding Bigfoot. So
Did they? And you would know. So that's funny. Okay, well there's that for the Click You. Blades, your card Nihil? How do you say this?
Nile.
Really? Nile Spell Bomb. Costs 1 colorless for a common artifact. Tap, sacrifice Nile Spell Bomb, exile all cards from target player's graveyard. When Nal Spellbomb is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay black. If you do, draw a card.
So I'm talking about this one mostly in Modern, in a more of a blue-black build, since Treasure Cruise is pretty big right now. And if you can just exile your opponent's graveyard, that's one of the big ways that people are looking to disrupt this combo of just randomly drawing 3 cards. There's a lot of cards that feed into it with dang it.
Treasure
Cruise.
Delver.
The Delver synergies are a lot of the ones that are playing it, but where this exiles just target player's graveyard and not targets your own, it sort of adds fuel for your own graveyard since it's so cheap, and you effectively get to draw a card off of it as well while disrupting your opponent's combo. With your graveyard where it's so important to get your own Treasure Cruise, and there's also other important spells in your graveyard that you may need leading into James's card.
Yeah, and my card is, let me see if I can get to it here. Dark Blast. Boy, it sounds like I know all about my card, huh? Dark Blast. One black for an uncommon instant. Target creature gets a -1/-1 until end of turn. Dredge 3. So this does work really well with a lot of the graveyard stuff that's going on right now that helps you get stuff into your graveyard. And then, hey, you can get this back out and you can do other things. So, I don't know, if you have lots of little creatures to get rid of, this also helps.
Yeah, to where 1 toughness right now is a big deal in Modern, where it hits Delver, it hits Young Pyromancer, it hits any of the mana guys that Pod wants to play on its first few turns. Snapcaster Mage, Dark Confidant. You could team up a few of them for 2/2 creatures. It seems pretty good right now, and where it's you can keep bringing it back off of its Dredge 3 ability while effectively feeding your Treasure Cruises quite effectively. This is seeing a lot of play in Modern, and rightfully so.
So that's why I picked that card. Actually, I just kind of asked for help picking
Well,
a
there
card,
you go.
so there you go.
I'm actually looking to put this into an Esper Delver list with pretty much this Delver going for a little bit more of a controlling route with Geist of Saint Traft, since he seems pretty good to me right now, to where you resolve him and then you just ride him to victory. As well with Lingering Souls, since when this dredges those into your graveyard, it's like a free spell. So it just seems like a card that's nothing but gas.
There's all sorts of, exactly.
It's always an answer for whatever you need. They counter it, okay, it goes to the graveyard, you dredge it back.
Right.
It's all good.
Is there any number of times that you can't? Would you not be able to? Can you dredge it as many times as you want?
So long as you have the cards in your library, I believe.
Wow. That's pretty good, isn't it? That's why I picked it.
Well done. Well done.
Okay. Peter, Sigil Captain. Costs 1 colorless. Is that right? Sigil?
Yeah, Sigil.
Okay. 1 colorless, 1 green, and 2 white for a 3/3 uncommon creature, Rhino Soldier. Whenever a creature comes into play under your control, if that creature is 1/1, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it.
Yeah, this guy was basically a hero in my junk slash Abzan EDH, where it's basically based on tokens and counters. Once I got him out, it's pretty much game over unless somebody can kill him. Because he's definitely in bolt range, but what makes him beautiful is as soon as he's out, and then you start playing things like Lingering Souls, like Rally the Troops, Raise the Alarm, stuff like that. If you've got, that's just powerful on its own. Your guys are coming in as 3/3s, but if you've got Corpse Jack Menace out, if you've got Doubling Season out, basically you're getting 5/5s.
That's
right,
pretty amazing.
it's pretty much game over. And when he came out on the battlefield, and my my buddy who I was playing with had absolutely no answers for him, that was it. It was done. So he's pretty much like my favorite car. I just put him in because I was like, oh, I need a nice, green-white card to go in this. And he looks like he'd be pretty cool. And he is a beast, absolute beast.
So Yak in the chat room says, Sigil Captain here to troll your pretty dark blasts. So
Yeah, apparently.
And then I can't say this. Shucks B116. This guy opens you up to a huge tempo loss, in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, you're coming in on turn 4 with a 3/3. Is that going to be a tempo loss?
That's not the greatest. I mean, 4 for a 3/3. That's about modern. But I do have a chance to respond to this ability with my Dark Blast.
True. And I think I might know who Shucks 1/1 etc. is.
Oh, okay. Is that your buddy?
I think it is.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting though. Okay. Anything else on our draw phase that you guys want to bring up? Is that good?
That's good for me.
Moving right along.
All right.
Main phase.
So in our main phase, pronounced shoe.
Shoe. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, absolutely.
What is shoe? What is shoe?
It's
What
it's,
issue?
What is shoe?
I was
goes
unaware
on
there
foot.
was
No,
an issue.
It's the first part of his last name.
Oh, but that's someone else. Haracot in the chat room said that, so must be someone else. Anyway, lots of people in the chat room that I don't recognize. And plus, I like slaughtering the names, so that's just my thing. Okay, so today on our main phase, we're talking holiday gift giving guide. So this is here's how you should take this episode. We're going to be talking about a bunch of things that if maybe you could just, if say you want to drop hints about what people could get for you, maybe have this on in the car when your significant other is there. Oh, listen to this part. Oh, that is such a good idea. Just giving you some hints of what to do. Plus, if you have other people in your life that are into Magic, this is maybe some ideas about where to go with that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna randomly walk into the room that my wife is sitting in and put on this podcast, and then
I agree.
Then just randomly leave the room.
Have
Make her listen
have
to
it queued up to where you want it to start, and just leave your iPod there and have it playing. Anyway, Peter, why don't you go ahead and bring us into this?
Absolutely. Well, part of the idea behind this was also, I think, as Magic players, we think to ourselves, hey, what do I want for Christmas? Oh, I'd like some cards. And so, maybe you just ask for just a fat pack, or maybe, if you think your folks or your significant other will spring for it, they'll get you a box. But, thinking maybe outside the box in terms of gifts for the holiday. And first of all, I mean, if you guys ever...
I see what you did there, thinking outside the holiday box.
Exactly.
Yeah, see? There isn't just one gift, although that is a pretty good one. If anyone wants to send me one, I'll take it. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Well, and so, I mean, just to start off, I mean, have you guys ever either, given or gotten, Magic as a gift for the holidays?
Yes. Santa put some packs of cards in all of our stockings a year or two ago, and my kids ended up just leaving them sitting around the house.
Right.
And I ended up collecting them, and they went into my collection. So it all turned out pretty well as far as I'm concerned.
My brother always got it good. He always buys me a box for Christmas.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So,
and also the holiday gift box. That's a good one, I think.
Right. Yeah, actually, to tell kind of a funny story, the first thing I ever gave my wife, well, she was at that time my girlfriend, the first gift I ever gave her was the Magic Deck Builders Toolkit.
Is that right?
I kind of hinted around. I was like, oh, I play this game called Magic, and maybe you like to play. She's like, oh, sure, that'd be fun. And so I was like, all right, here you go. And she actually, without ever having played Magic, she built a pretty good blue-white artifact deck that is actually tough.
Oh.
She did pretty well.
So, funny story. I gave my wife golf clubs once. But see, I was like, I had this dilemma, okay? It was like, do I give her women's clubs, which I can't use because I'm too tall, or do I give her guys' clubs, and then that looks really dumb because then I can't use them, or she can't use them. So I got 2 sets of clubs, and I gave her clubs, and I just happened to have another set of clubs that were. I know this is painting a picture.
So,
but when in the living room when I got them, I kind of had like candles lit around them so that they would go over a little easier. Okay, I've learned a few things
candles
about.
work. So you gave her golf clubs, and then she liked it so much she used it immediately and gave you a bruise.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been able to.
Yeah.
I didn't sit down for a long time after that. But anyway, that was my funny. I thought that's where you were going to go with it. Well, obviously you got married, so things must not have gone.
Yeah, we still play Magic every once in a while, which is pretty nice. And so yeah, and I haven't absorbed her cards into my collection. She still has.
She still has them. Oh, good.
She still has them, absolutely.
Huh?
Yeah. But the other thing is, and I think maybe this is something we don't necessarily think about, but I think gamers in general, but also Magic players specifically, can be very difficult to buy for, because we know what we want generally, but it's if we're building a particular kind of deck, or if we want a particular set, cards from a particular set, or a particular, if we want a dual deck as opposed to an intro pack, if we want, a fat pack as opposed to a box, it's kind of hard to communicate these things to family members. We know what we want, and we know, and our friends know what we want, but your mom doesn't play Magic. If your brothers don't play Magic, etc., they're like, huh?
It's all the same to them. They see something with a title and.
Yeah, I mean, I say, yeah, give me something Magic related, and I get Yu-Gi-Oh. How do they know? No, I don't know.
Exactly. So, and that's kind of, kind of the thing is, I think that Magic players tend to be more difficult to buy for. I know, I have a standing thing with my brother, and I'm not super picky, but with one of my brothers, he has, we both have a standing order for gifts. Every holiday, every birthday, I get him something zombie related. He gets me something Magic related. It works.
He likes zombies, huh? He's into the Zambies.
He is. He's into Zed. So yeah, I this year for Christmas I've actually put together a kind of like a zombie gift box for him with all kinds of zombie stuff in it, which is hopefully he'll like it. So, but anyway, I think one of the ways that we can look at this is, if you want to get gifts for, if there are gifts that you would like to get or gifts that you would like to give, here are some different categories of things that you can think about. First of all, if you're looking at, somebody who's new to Magic, or even is like a non-player that you would like to maybe get into Magic. I mentioned before the deck builders. I think it's called Toolkit or Deck Builders Toolbox.
Yeah.
Some people really don't like them. For me, it was one of the things that got me into Magic. After I bought a dual deck, I was like, I need more cards. And so it comes with a nice box. You get a bunch of land. You get some packs from sets into standard. You get some cards, and it's a good way of just kind of, if somebody has reacted favorably to playing Magic with you before, it even has the rules. It has different deck archetypes listed in there. It seems like it's a fairly good product to, for somebody who's just starting out.
Right. In the past, I know that my only complaint with these things have been that they're duplicates of each other.
Well, and
often.
But if you're new, then it doesn't matter, though. It's definitely not someone that already is into Magic. But I think you're right.
Yeah, so you don't want to buy multiples of these for a person.
Right. One is enough. I agree.
Yeah,
Couple things from the chat room. Haracott says, does he have the game Zombie Dice?
I don't have zombie dice. I do have
your brother.
Oh,
remember,
my brother?
He's a zombie. Yeah. So
he doesn't.
All right,
he's got the,
that's actually a good go. That's a fine game.
So there is a tip for you from our chat room here.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Chuck Dublin says, it seems like Magic paraphernalia is a better bet than Magic products or cash. Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
We'll be getting at it in a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something else that you can consider getting, folks, obviously, is the Fat Pack, because that has a bunch of Magic supplies right off the back. Deck boxes, the big box, a bunch of packs. You got the dice. You got the people don't like them, but the the player's guide. I love those players.
I
guides.
actually like the
Yeah.
player's guide. Yeah, I like to get at least one fat pack from every set,
Yeah.
so that I have that little. It makes me feel like then I don't have to build a binder that just has one of each in it. It somehow satisfies that. I think I have a little bit of OCD too, where I want to have a nice organization of all the cards, and that sort of in a small way, literally in a small way because it's small, satisfies that.
Yeah, for sure. And also, for the value, I think fat packs are a good way, a good sort of midway between the intro pack and a box.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that works out. Also, for instance, if you are someone who just loves EDH and you want somebody else to play EDH with you, you can just buy them one of the new EDH decks because
Right.
they are cool and they will like them.
See, I'm a little bit on the fence with the EDH thing. If you're doing it for like a newer player, the EDH deck might be a little bit overburdening for them.
Why do you say that?
Because it's got a lot of singletons and a lot of strenuous
interactions or something like that?
a lot of strenuous interactions. So
I can
I'm
see-
actually on board with the pre-con deck. I know that my dad, he actually isn't all that into the game. He doesn't play competitively or anything like that. He pretty much just plays on the weekends every once in a while. He does love those pre-con decks. He buys every one that comes out, and he sleeves it up, and then he plays with it for a little bit. Like for a newer player who's into it like for like a month or two, I feel like those are actually pretty fine for a gift in their own right. Yeah.
Mint Chalk Dublin says, I also like the new player cheat sheets they started including in fat packs and pre-constructed decks. They walk you through the part of the card or phases of a turn. So yeah, they've done, over the years, they've really, that insert, they've really honed that insert to be better and better as far as being able to walk you through things.
Yeah, but the only downside is as soon as you're past that newer player perspective, you do not want the pre-con decks. They're pretty much just wasted on anybody who is slightly seasoned.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so newbies, deck builder, fat packs, dual decks, commander decks. Yeah.
Sounds good. And then this next category I puzzled over. I was like, oh my Lord. But what if, for instance,
What if you're a modern player?
yeah, what if you are a modern player or your
or-
significant
or-
other is a modern player and you can just kind of like
Yeah.
so my immediate thought was just half joking, just write them a check.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
With at least 3 digits in it or something.
Exactly. It's like,
Because
here's
that's what their cards are going to cost.
Yeah.
If they're into modern, then odds are they already have a lot of the cards that what they're already looking for.
Yeah.
It's an older format, and it caters a little bit more to older players, even though some newer players try to jump into the format. That sounded a little bit negative. I'm sorry. They absolutely should jump into the format. It's a wonderful format. It just comes with a high price tag at first.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that they could do is, I mean, some of the decks are, there's some cards in some of the decks are not super, super, super expensive. So one of the things they could do is just make a list of some of them. Like if you need to get Nicodles, I mean, you can get a playset of Nicodles for fairly reasonable.
They're fairly,
I think I got mine for $10. So you could do that, or even just give them a, just give them a gift card to their favorite site, like SCG or to their favorite LGS, and just go for it like that. If you know that
most shops do have gift certificates. So
yeah,
Or you could just buy like a single a chase rare that they can trade off fairly easily. Like
Sure.
Dark Confidant's like what, 100 right now?
I think so. Yeah.
Something like that. Liliana is at around 60. If you just get something like that for somebody, like they're not really sad. I mean, worst case scenario, it's trade bait.
right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So there are a lot of scenarios where I'd much rather have a single than really.
Yeah,
much-
getting them something
much
like
else.
a card is almost just like a gift certificate in some ways.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit
although-
bad because it's opened product, but
Although at the same time, I guess if you buy it from a retail store, and then they use it. It's not like you could just turn it back to a card store for the same amount. So you might be taking a little hit there. So
Well,
I guess that's something you think about.
That's a little bit, but also if you choose your single correctly enough, it can actually make it look a little bit more thoughtful as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. And then there's what do you do for the EDH player? Obviously, there are the new commander decks, which we've talked about before. The idea of a gift card. Something else that I kind of enjoy are the card grab bags, and you can get these on eBay for in varying sizes. You can get these on Amazon in varying sizes, anywhere from like 25 cards to 1,000 cards, and most of them are singles of varying kinds. But if you know somebody who loves EDH, since it's a singleton format, just get them these grab bags, and they can usually find something in these something in these boxes that they'll be able to use, or at least that they'll enjoy the thought, and it'll expand their collection. I mean, I've enjoyed buying the grab bags that are just commons, uncommons, and rares, and you literally never know what you're gonna get. Now, sometimes, and I mentioned them in one of my pieces for the website a while back. Buyer beware. I mean, one time I got I think it was close to 500 cards, and it was all the same 4 or 5 cards. Just
oh no.
It's a ton of them. Now, in other ones, I've got like this box. It was like $25, but I got a couple of Zendikar full art lands. I got it was just a complete grab. I mean, the guy didn't really know what he had, and so that was really quite a find too. Something else I thought of that would be kind of neat for a commander player is if you go to Star City Games and you look up like oversized cards, you can get. Like you just get them a few oversized commanders that they might not have. Those guys generally run between $1 or $4, and even if you don't know what colors they like to brew around, just having those might give them an impetus to build a deck around that, and that could be something kind of neat.
Yeah, something that I'm actually pretty big at to get more personalized in this one as well. Foils. If you know what their general is, people like to foil out their EDH decks. Since it's fairly easy to do so, they don't have to get a playset of each card to foil out.
Yeah.
And I find that once people get their EDH card, there's a lot of staples that they just want to keep. And this way, the foils in them stay pretty single-handedly in their decks, or they stay with the person longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the chat room, Mint, I'm just going to call him Mint now. Mint says altered tokens could be cool. Lingering Souls, Worm Coil Engine, and the like. Yeah, we haven't really talked about that sometimes these altars might be a creative gift to give.
Absolutely, yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
It could even show a little bit of thought as far as if you're picking something that's meaningful.
For sure, altars and also custom tokens. There are some people who do fantastic custom. Not merely our friend 7 Cups a Day who came up with our awesome tokens, but
which
also
I haven't done anything yet with. Oh my gosh, I have to. Oh, I'm gonna get around to that really soon.
Oh, no problem.
But
I mean, there are some folks, if you look up on eBay custom tokens, I mean, there's some just eye-popping, just incredible stuff out there. And generally hey, it's the holidays, so splashing out in price a little bit is not too bad. But.
Yeah, I definitely want to start doing something with those soon.
But that's pretty much all I can think about in terms of EDH. But then there's also, this is kind of the catch-all category I was thinking of, either creative gifts or stuff for the player who has everything. And I'm kind of one of those players at the moment who, like, I've got just tons of Magic stuff from, shirts to what have you.
Right.
We already talked about the holiday box. There's another one, another gift, the Dual Decks Anthology, which has the 5, I think it's 5 decks.
Is it 4 or 5?
It's 8. I beg your pardon.
Oh, it's eight decks.
Right,
it's 4 sets. It's 4. What do you call it? dual decks.
4 of
it's
the dual.
Yeah, I definitely want one of those. I think
Yeah,
that would
it's
be.
Elves versus Goblins, Jace versus Chandra, Divine versus Demonic, and Garruk versus Liliana. And that's, I mean, if you've got a Magic player in your life and you can't think of anything else to get them, that would be a good thing. Now, I've seen prices on this range, like the MSRP was supposed to be $100. I've seen prices on this ranging from 100 all the way up to 200. So
Wow.
it really is going to.
Oh man. Ugh.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like the From the Vaults are supposed to retail at like
Yeah. Oh
never
my gosh.
retail at $50. But yeah.
Definitely want one of those.
Something else, for instance, if the person that you want to buy for is a comic book lover or is a comic book lover and plays Magic or just likes comics and you'd like to get them into Magic, I think it's IDW puts out some really cool Magic comics. And they always come in Mylar bags with exclusive foil cards. So it's kind of like, hey, here's a comic you might want to read, and by the way, here's a card in there that you might want to start playing with.
Right.
So.
I've collected all of those mostly because I just wanted the card. The comic itself isn't more than the cover price on it is about the same as any of the comics, but the card itself could be a real collector's item because they're made in such low quantities and they're alternate art of existing cards.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Let's see. Playmats. Mintz says cool playmats are great for I think that's a really good thing too. Although you may want to hold off until we have our own playmats to pimp. No, just kidding. Everybody can use more playmats, but
and there's some folks, for instance, like on Etsy and stuff like that, where if you send them an image, they can make a playmat out of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are all different kinds of things you can do with that, and I mean, custom playmats. I mean, of course, some people want to get playmats from particular GPs and stuff like that, and you can find those, but they can tend to run into money. But like a custom playmat can perhaps be the right way to say I love you this holiday season. Ha.
Yak says characters of your girlfriend as a zombie on tokens always a good choice. Yeah, that may not go over well, depending.
Yeah.
She sucked my wallet dry. Why not my brains too?
Wah, wah.
So Cardboard Crack, they got their own book out now too.
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
Yeah, that one you can find on. I believe they're selling on Star City. I'd just like to see what cartoons you don't make it to online.
Yeah. I mean, their compilations are just so spot on. I mean, you read this stuff, and you're like, that's kind of my life, and it's really kind of scary how close. Like they had one recently where it was talking about trying to figure out like the perfect deck for your child, and it's a baby, and they don't and I'm like, yeah,
oh yeah, I saw that one. That one's a funny one. Yeah.
So
I'm working on.
so that's definitely one to try. Something else I put down was like buttons and pins. Anybody who knows me, if my buddy's in the chat room, he knows that I have a satchel, and on my satchel I have all kinds of buttons and pins, Magic related and otherwise. I've got one with a like a Bahamati Jinn on it that's old school. I've got like some of the emblems from the clans or from the different guilds. I even have 5 little buttons representing all the different mana symbols in order in like the little 5, in the little circle there. So if you've got somebody who would really like that, that's one idea, and that can be like a fun little stocking stuffer. You can find those on eBay. You can find them a lot of different places. Those are pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, this is actually a good episode. Just remember to be playing this at the right time when someone's around you, because this could be a lot of good information for people.
We can't say that in the middle of the cast.
Okay.
Yes. We're giving things away. Edit this out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is. Anyway, yeah. What else do we have on the list here?
Funko figures.
Yeah.
If the Funko Pop figures that they've started putting out of all the Planeswalkers are pretty darn cool. They had a first round that had Garruk, Liliana, Jace, and a couple others, and now they're having a second round with
Nicol
Elspeth,
Bolas, Elspeth, Sarkhan.
and the Tezzeret.
And Tezzeret.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Nicol Bolas too. So
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I've seen that. The Nicol Bolas is really funny looking.
because it's like a tiny dragon body with a big dragon head.
Exactly.
But
How
I mean,
do you
those
think
are
he gets
awesome.
that head around?
Like this.
He drags it. Drag on.
Drag on.
Oh, wah, wah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But also, I forget if it's Funko or another one, but they also make straight up action figures of some of the Planeswalkers. There's a Jace, there's a Johnny, I think there's a Garruk, and they're all really pretty neat looking.
Yeah, it's the core set Planeswalkers.
Okay. Yeah. So I just think it's cool that they actually have Magic toys out now. I mean, if I was a kid and they had these, I would, totally go crazy.
Yeah.
I'm betting that there'll be some even better Magic toys once the movie comes out.
If the movie comes out, there's still that in the air, right?
Oh no, there's still question about it.
Well, what was said last week that, I guess that, I don't know. I've just heard things that are like, what's really going to happen with it? I guess that's the question.
I think they've been spoiling it for a year now, and we haven't heard anything more about it. I think it's been put on the back burner, which is probably better because Magic isn't good on any of their side products.
But we'll see. We'll see.
I'm skeptical about the board game coming out. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical as well. I'm still going to buy it and play it, but I'm
Yeah.
hopeful that it's not going to be a complete failure.
I'll probably buy it just so I can recycle all the stuff and use it with my real HeroScape stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Then we can lump some of these together, but we have some stuff here like a dice bag.
Yeah, I actually gave someone a dice bag last in my trying to figure out in my D&D group. I gave someone a dice bag last year, and where did I find that? I think I found it on Etsy. It's actually kind of hard to find really good dice bags sometimes. There's a lot out there, but especially for D&D because you need a little bit bigger one than because you have so many different types.
Right. A lot of the magical apparel, like the dice bags, the deck boxes and stuff, like I'm really picky about my deck boxes. Not so much my sleeves, but my deck boxes. It's really hard to find one that I actually really like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like these new Ultra Pro ones that fold up funny. Like I don't like those at all. So.
Yeah.
And even the new leather ones, they're too bulky. I need something smaller, something that fits in my hand easier.
So
it's the same thing with like the EDH boxes, the ones that are like these weird sort of trapezoidal prism things. I thought, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And then I realized I can't fit this into my bag.
Yeah.
So. But sorry, James, you were saying something.
I don't know. That's fine. Monkeys just said something in the chat room that I can't even read. He wrote it in caps and in a foreign language.
Is it Sanskrit?
No, I hope it's not. Nerds get wrecked. Noobs do better. Magic scruns. I don't know what that means. You okay there, monkeys? You having a little epileptic seizure or something? Anyway, keep going.
Is he like in one of those test facilities?
He might be.
Like an actual monkey?
He might be. He might be. Well, that'd be actually cool if he was a real monkey. He shows up pretty regularly. That's pretty cool.
Whatever we do, we cannot throw feces at the screen.
It's like that Saturday Night Live sketch where they were training monkeys to be like janitors, and the monkey was wearing a diaper and is written in lipstick on the bathroom mirror, "Monkey hate clean."
Okay.
Something else, and this kind of came to me, but if you have trouble lugging all your stuff around, like your Magic stuff, and you are in, if you've got more than just a couple of boxes, maybe it's time for someone to give you a satchel or a backpack. I know guys literally who carry long boxes with all their EDH decks, all their modern decks, everything in a backpack. I myself have like a messenger bag, and that works out pretty well for me. But I think that's the kind of gift that actually shows like that somebody's been paying attention It's one of those, like a gift of love, because they're like, hey, I know what you need. You need a satchel, and it's kind of one of those outside the box type Magic gifts that basically says, hey, I love the fact that you are playing Magic, and here's a way to play it easier.
Yeah, I really like the idea of the satchel because it's more attractive, but I would rock a fanny pack. If it could fit a deck box in it, I would rock that fanny pack.
It'd be like your emergency magic pack is like, here, somebody need a deck? Here you go.
Yeah, like that. And it's always on you at tournaments. You don't have to worry about it sitting around the table or anything.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't fit a binder or anything, so that's a little bit but...
Mintz said, monkey actual monkey confirmed. And then Monkey said, you guys just realized I'm a real monkey? Anyway, there's a link in the chat room, and I will put it in the show notes because this is such a cool holiday gift idea. It's a gem that is modeled after the actual Mox gems. They are absolutely cool looking.
That's truly for the Magic player who has absolutely everything.
They are really cool looking. I will put that in the show notes so that you guys can see these because they are really cool looking. They look just like the gems that are on the Mox symbols or the Mox cards.
Wow.
So
another one is apparel, because obviously there are all kinds of Magic shirts out there, both licensed and unlicensed.
And make your own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That'd be really cool.
That's how Damon got one of his. Is his sister or somebody just came up with a whole bunch of keywords and threw it on a shirt. So.
But everybody loves to wear, their geek uniform to, their tournaments or their events, and it's just one of the kind of the cool things you can give.
Absolutely.
Something else I put down here are, and this will take a little bit of explaining.
Oh, did I? Wait a second. I gave credit to Mintz for that, and it was actually Yak that said that, that gave the link to the. I want to give credit where credit's due. It was actually Yaks that gave the link to the jewelry, the Mox things. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, sure. This one might take a little bit of explaining, but I thought coupons would be a good idea, and let me explain why. I don't mean like coupons that you find in your, supermarket. These would be the kind of things.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. Like for instance, my mom for a number of Christmases would give like her sister-in-law basically like a few little coupons saying, this day I will.
Oh, cash this in for doing the dishes or
cooking and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, and I got to thinking, playing in F&Ms, playing in pre-releases, GPs, PTQs, etc. Especially when you're in a relationship, this can be a little bit, straining sometimes.
Right.
And so what if your significant other were to give you a little book of coupons that said, this is good for one free
F&M.
This, et cetera, et cetera. That might not be a bad idea, to sort of
treat yourself to a fat pack.
Exactly.
Here's a coupon for over the next year. You can pick a fat pack up out of one of the coming sets or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna write myself some coupons.
There you go.
I'm gonna one free fat pack, honey. I got it. I got a coupon. I got it. Sorry.
It expires tomorrow. I gotta use it now.
I love it. That's a good idea.
It's horrible.
So that could be something. And then the idea of giving subscription boxes. Blade, you want to take that?
Oh, I actually know nothing about the sub boxes.
Well, I will take no problem. Yeah. I think we had mentioned before that Brewbox, who had been doing a fabulous job, unfortunately, just had to poop out because of illness and things like that. There's still, I know of at least one other Magic subscription box out there, monthly Magic box. You can find them online. It's $25 a month, and you can I think you can just sign up for 1 month and then stop. So if you think, hey, this might be something good to get for somebody, you can try that out. I have subscribed. I still have yet to get my first one. They don't ship until the 4th week of the month, so I'm just waiting for that to take place.
This
but-
one here is something that I'm actually extremely excited for. Like, of anything on this list, this is probably the thing that I personally would like to get above all else.
So here's an idea that that sort of the chat room brought up. If another gift guide for somebody, if you're into Magic and you have a friend that's into Magic, so you're in, you know the nomenclature, you know the abilities. How about building a custom card for somebody? You know, just for the fun of it. Just, you know, you find some cool artwork. You can make them a Planeswalker. Monkeys in the chat room had put a couple of links in there of a couple Planeswalkers that let's see, his friend made for him. Yeah, that's such a great idea. Just to be able to make a card. One of my favorite cards is a card my son. It's nothing special. But it's really cool. Made for me for Father's Day. And you know, Dad, and you know, that's in my special binder with my other special cards that are, you know, that obviously I wouldn't trade for anything. Well, first of all, I couldn't get anything for this card if I wanted to, but it means something to me. So
yeah. No, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea. Try, you know, if you wanted to make a card for somebody, there's software out there to help mock you up cards and things like that. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sorry.
I got it.
So also, we almost touched on it earlier, but sleeves. I always need sleeves. I go through a set of sleeves like once every 3 weeks or so, and I only play F&M every week. So like, I personally am not picky about the sleeves that I use, but people have a tendency to be so. So that's something that you definitely need to know the person and what kind of sleeves that they play.
Yeah. Especially if they're like, people probably wouldn't buy me island sleeves, you know that.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I don't know.
I know what I'm getting you, sir.
Yeah. I was gonna say that'd be so good.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll be building an island deck now, blue deck. All
Or
right.
you could just you know put them on and you know fake somebody out. They're like, oh, he's playing a blue. Oh no, it's red.
Yep.
High-end binder.
Absolutely.
ShoeXB166 says high-end binders. That's a good gift. Yeah. Boy, you know, it's coming to me now that I don't think that Magic players are that hard to buy for. Now that we've talked about it, there's a ton of stuff out there.
It's all about.
It just takes you know some thought and ingenuity, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and identifying what kind of player you're actually buying for.
Yeah. But we're talking about everything we've talked about is everything from absolutely free, like making a card, to the couponed idea, all the way up to, you know,
The high spenders like up
the high,
to $200
you know, you
or
can
something.
spend, so, and then everything in between. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
what else?
Stop. Magic shopping stop. Something I was trying to think of, and I had a heck of a time thinking of it, was gifts for you know ladies in your life who play Magic. I mean, obviously you could get them a lot of the same kinds of things, but it's hard. I was trying to think. There really aren't that many products that are focused towards you know lady planeswalkers. There really aren't, because it's kind of stereotypical just to get them you know the Funko Pop figure of Liliana and say, "Here, I thought of you."
Yeah.
It's,
These necklaces would totally do it.
Yeah.
These are, I mean, I would wear these. So.
Yeah, but that's because of your habits on
Yeah, we don't talk about
Saturday
that.
nights.
Another Saturday night and I ain't got nobody.
That's because you're not dressed up all the way.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody can tell.
A set of full art lands would maybe be only be like $100. So yeah, full art lands, that'd be cool. A set of
that would be
lands.
awesome.
Even the artwork, you know, there's lots of Magic artwork. Someone else mentioned, Yak mentioned that something about original art. That's another option.
A lot of artists actually sell prints as well. So if somebody's partial to a certain card or so, getting a framed print can go a long way.
And there's at least one Magic artist, maybe 2 or 3, who have their own Etsy shops, and they will do reprints of their art in various ways, including on playmats, which has been pretty cool.
Cool. All right. So, chat room. Do you have anything else to add? You've had come up with 5 or 6.
Yeah, half of our episode is thanks to the chat room.
It's been a lively chat tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
this has
just
been
because I'm
awesome.
reading a lot of it. Normally, I don't spend this much time there because I have other people looking at it. But they've been throwing out lots of good ideas, so I appreciate that.
You guys?
Anything else that we want to say before we wrap up this this portion? Like I said, this is good information. I know what I'm going to tell Sarah to get me. All right, let's move along.
Just to say one thing,
yeah.
obviously Black Friday is coming up. This is our last full-on show before Black Friday. But also, don't forget that Small Business Saturday comes after Black Friday. So support your local LGS people.
Yeah, absolutely. All about getting the money into the people who need it a little bit more than the big corporations.
Yeah, because Cyber Monday comes. Cyber Monday is the following Monday, and that's when a lot of people do their online shopping. So it's good to have Small Business Saturday before that to try to put some money there before we send it all to Amazon.
Absolutely.
Not that there's anything wrong with Amazon.
No, hey, I do a lot of my shopping on Amazon.
do, but supporting local is good.
Yeah, especially when it comes to gaming stores because those folks, they're doing God's work. So
They are.
Yeah, they do more than just sell you the cards that you want. They give you a place to game.
That's right.
absolutely.
All right.
Combat phase.
Combat phase. I played some Duels of the Planeswalkers this week. I am trying to play a little bit more every week, and I've noticed this is something I've also found. When Duels of the Planeswalkers came out on the iPad, I first was positive toward it, and then I was complaining that it started crashing a lot. With some of the new updates, and I don't know if it's the iOS updates or if it's the update, I think that it seems to be running actually better on the older iPads, and I have an iPad too. So that's a happy news for me. You guys play any this week?
Not this week. Last time I played was about 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
It's just because of me and my buddy's schedules. We're going to be picking it up next week, thankfully. But mostly it's just been editing my decks in preparation. So.
It's like you said, this time of year is tough. It starts to get into lots of stuff going on. So,
I played F&M. I did fine, but it was just a little bit of rubbins because for this one we had 4 rounds and I went 4-0 and my younger brother went 4-0.
Oh, really?
Going into the last round,
mini blades.
Yeah, he had the better tie break, so he had to play up and I had to play down. But then after everything was all said and done, I barely snuck up ahead of him. But going into the last round, he's talking all of his trash like, "Oh, I've got."
When you saying 4-0
better.
or 3-0?
4-0.
Okay, so did you do 5 rounds?
No. We didn't. Like our F&M is we almost exclusively do 4 rounds just because we start at 6 and we like to end at around 10ish.
Right. So tell me. So you each went 4-0, and so what do you mean? Does he?
The tie breaks is how it does it to where your opponent's win percentage.
Oh, okay.
So in the last round, his opponents were doing better than my opponents, but then the last round, like all of my opponents won their games and all of his lost their games. So it pushed me to take first place above him. And it was sort of funny because my brother is a bit of a trash talker.
Yeah, he is.
He like any time that he can or he thinks he's better than me, he'll try to let me know about it. So it was a little bit funny to see him go from all talk to all shutting up. So I had a lot of fun with that.
That's good. Yeah, he's a funny kid. He's very entertaining.
Funny describes it interestingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, if that's all we have, let's move into our
Second main phase.
In our second main phase, let's see. First off, let's get a little bit of business out of the way. So you notice that Damon and Rich aren't here. Well, in the way of news, Damon is taking a little bit of a back seat right now. He has some other things going on, and just we're not going to be seeing as much of him. Blades, what was it you said when you told your wife about this?
Oh, about Damon taking a back seat. She said, "Oh, great! Now I need a reason to listen to the podcast."
Exactly. That's doesn't.
Because apparently I'm not enough.
Yeah, for some reason that's the new iOS update now rings on all of my computers at the same time. So if you heard that, that's my phone ringing. Thank you very much, whoever you are. So yeah, we're sad to
Are you
have.
not going to answer that?
Oh, just a second. Yeah. No, just kidding. I'm not going to answer it. So, Damon, yeah, we're sad to have Damon not going to be here as often, but
Yeah, unfortunately, life takes its toll, and when you can't put the time of what you once could, that really sucks. But it's absolutely 100% understandable.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And but he's not going away entirely. We haven't entirely figured out how often he'll be on. I suspect every month or two at least. But like I say, that's we're kind of talking about that. With everything that's happening in his life, he just decided. Well, let's just put it this way: we decided that we've had just about enough of him. And no, just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
The shenanigans have gotten to be too much.
Yeah. In other news, we've been talking about ways of tightening up the show a little bit. I think, and if you notice, we missed.
Convergys Marketing Research, a unit of Convergys.
Oh my gosh, how did that?
Hello.
That was like, what happened there?
I wasn't serious when I said you were going to answer.
Did you hear that? This is Convergys. Da 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 da. How did that come on? Anyway, that was
Hello,
really
disembodied
bizarre.
telemarketer voice.
Yeah, that was really weird. Fight Club. We've been talking about Fight Club, and here's something we're going to try, see if this works. We're going to try to maybe go to a once a month schedule on a Saturday and do like an extended Fight Club. Several
matches all in one sitting. It's probably going to get more content out to.
Yeah, if not more, at least the same amount, but we'll be able to do it all at once and just have it kind of an extended thing. We'll try to work it around so that we're not conflicting with too much other Magic-related material. But, yeah, we haven't totally decided when our first one's going to be, but it's going to be soon.
Yeah.
Club. 2 decks enter. 1 deck leaves.
That's right.
No, they both leave. I'm pretty sure they both leave.
No.
That's not the way I play.
You're a bit hardcore, sir.
I ante for the whole deck. Here, you can have it. No. Email feedback. Let me get to that. Got quite a bit of feedback. Josh from Washington says, "Hey guys, as always, enjoyed your episode every week. Wanted to write you guys and see if you could send me some of the sweet life pads." All right. Thanks. Keep up the awesome work. So yes, Josh, we'll get some life pads off to you. Let's see who else. Bruce said, "It's been a few weeks since I was able to catch up with you guys." This is our friend Bruce from Canada. But had a chance over the weekend to catch you your last two podcasts, Casual Commanders and Opportunity Cost. I want to say thanks. They made for some terrific listening. I do most of my listening these days while driving in my car on a late night drive. They made for great listening to keep me alert and engaged. The Casual Commanders were very interesting, and your two guests were very interesting to listen to. Yeah, they'll definitely come back on. We had a really good time with the Cash, as I like to call them. Actually, that's the first time I ever called them that. But very good points to raise to help. The opportunity cost one was a little deep. Yes, it was, I admit. But very good points to raise to help players try and maximize their game and to help translate to everyday life. On both counts, thanks very much. He also asked for some life pads, so we'll be sending some off to him. Keep up the great work. I love the show and the insights, and the guests have been pretty terrific recently, too. Well done. Can't wait for the this week's show. So thanks, Bruce, for that email. We always appreciate your
Feedback.
Your feedback. I got a email here from some guy in wanting my address and my bank account.
Is he an Arabian prince?
Yeah.
You should jump on that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I'll probably send that off later. Johanna Gonzalez says, "Hey guys, you are all awesome. I have been listening to your podcast since episode 3. That's awesome. Asking, sure, I'll send some life pads off to you too. Yeah, so lots of good.
Everybody loving their life pads.
Yeah, Nick. First off, thanks for making such a quality podcast stream. After helping my friends at Casual Commanders, I've listened to much work. I've seen how much work can go into it. Kudos for sticking with it. Secondly, I've heard you guys pimping out your life pads and want in. Let's see, Nick. I'm seeing if you sent me. I don't know if you've sent any to Matt or Greg. No, but I'm going to. But if you haven't, oh yeah, so I'll just send some in with him. By the way, I need their address. So Casual Commanders, if you're in the chat room, send me your address. Send me an email with your address so I can send you some. And I think that might be it for this week.
And also, if you get a bloody machete in the mail as well, that's entirely coincidental.
How is that coincidental? Oh, for sending, I promise I don't do anything with your addresses other than send out pads. I don't even share them with Blades.
Especially not with Blades.
I do not.
Actually, for the better.
Hello, I was watching your Fight Club on Thursday. Was wondering if you could send some life pads. Okay, that's from Michael from Ontario.
I think I have enough restraining orders. So
anyway, so thanks for all that feedback. Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to do. I was looking up iTunes, guys. Okay, we're taking bets on iTunes reviews. I begged for some last week, so we should have some.
I say we have 2.
You think so? Oh yeah, there's the Casual Commanders. Yeah, send me an email, mtgyoupodcast at mtgyoupodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, send me that, and I can send you up some life pads. And I'll send some in. I guess I'll send some. I'll throw some in for, who was it? It was Nick. Yeah, so make sure you share with Nick.
or not.
Or not. Let's see. I'm still trying to get to this. Talk amongst yourselves.
The peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss.
Yeah, that's right.
Mind blown?
The peanut is an interesting.
It's a legume.
It's a legume, but aren't peas legumes?
They're seeds?
That's bald tomfoolery, sir. How dare you?
I don't know. I thought that peas were legumes of a sort, or maybe am I wrong? What's the definition of a legume?
I think this conversation has just escalated to past my current knowledge.
Okay.
I'm a history major. I basically said everything I know about botany in that one sentence.
Oh my gosh, we do have a new one. Thank you, whoever you are. Now we're going to find out who it is. Whoever it is, I am most grateful.
Is it Blaze? Is it you again?
It's not. Well,
Oh, good.
I don't know that for sure.
You can tell if he's talking all this wonderful stuff about me.
Let's see. Dated November 14th. Great MTG podcast, 5 stars. This is from C. Glotzer. The MTGU crew has a great dynamic that is informative without being dry and entertaining without straying too far from the game and its community. The production quality and format makes it great to listen to on the go or while sitting around, mostly likely sorting cards. Like many podcasts, they have added streaming video to their production, but have been able to maintain the quality of the audio-only version. Well done, guys. Thanks. I'm glad you noticed. All right. You are now in the running for what, Peter?
I said kudos to our technical guy.
Oh, I don't know who. Yeah, who is that guy? Who is that masked man? Anyway, that now brings us to a total of 36 5-star reviews. Ooh. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
And
Of
only
course-
one is raving about me. We need to fix that.
Yeah, still the top one. Anyway, if you want a chance to win a cool playmat from our friend Judge Jeremy, level 3 judge, regional coordinator Judge Jeremy, he at the end of the year, just a few weeks away, we are going to be stopping this contest. So give us a 5-star review on iTunes, and you will be entered into that contest. So that's how you can get in on that. We don't have another contest yet, but I'm sure that one of these days we'll get around to starting a new contest because I think we need one.
Oh, we'll have to brainstorm, or if anyone out there in the MTGU chat land has an idea, that'd be cool.
I think I got one from Wumpus the other day, and I haven't looked at that. I should look at that. Let's see, where was that? Because I think a good oh yeah, so he sent me this idea. Wumpus, if you're listening to this, I plan on reading this. I just haven't yet. I just remembered. So I will forward this on to the guys, and we'll take a look at it. All right, and let's see. That's email. That's iTunes. Contest. Poll of the week. There is a poll up. Has anyone participated? Let's take a look. Holy cow, what was that? Poll of the week. Oh man, I hope that is there a problem with it? Has anyone tried? I see 0 responses. I don't think it may be my fault for it may not. Oh yeah. All right. So the poll of the week, and I'll fix this later on. What MTG card animal would you want on your Thanksgiving Day table? Possibilities are Wingmate Rock, Thundermaw Hellkite. These are roasted, of course. Thassa's Emissary, Thragtusk, or other. So, and you other being you can fill in the blank. So I'll fix that. I think that there's a problem with it right now with having to be logged in. I don't know. Something changed with the software. So anything else, guys? Let's see. That's the contest, poll of the week. And yeah, I guess that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have anything else?
One thing I happen to think of, and I don't know if this is just something that somebody made, but there's apparently a card going around that they're saying might be a leaked Planeswalker of Ugin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I seen that Frank Lepore was talking about him earlier this morning. He could neither confirm nor deny. I think that more than likely it's probably a fake.
Really? Huh, I'll have to. That should go into our news. We should.
I didn't even think about that until now, but it's the one they're putting out now is pretty sweet. It'd be colorless, and it has some pretty sweet abilities. We'll see if it's
Huh.
Yeah.
So you think that?
I mean, the thing is, if you look up Ugin, and you come up with like 50 different things that like planeswalkers that people made custom, but the one, I don't know. It looks.
Does it feel legit? Sometimes
it has a legit look to it, but I mean, it's hard to say. It really is.
Sometimes those things come down to. I mean, artwork is one thing,
Right.
but abilities is another. You look at it. Sometimes abilities can be way overboard.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, yeah, obviously this is a fake because it's like 1 red, you win the game type of thing,
Yeah.
Let me see. Thanksgiving Day table. I am going in to edit this right now. I will learn my lesson. Okay, anything else, guys? All right, sounds good. Here we go.
End step.
If you'd like to contact us, you can send email to mtgyoupodcast@gmail.com. Interact with us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/mtgu. Follow us on Twitter @theMTGU. Catch us live on Thursday nights on twitch.tv/mtgu. Subscribe and like us on YouTube. Find us on youtube.com/theMTGU. And we're also on Stitcher. So for the MTGYou Podcast,
I'm Blades.
I'm Peter.
I'm James. And now we pass the turn to you.
Your pointing was at the wrong person there, Peter.
Me?
Yeah. You're like,
Well, I was itching my head.
Yak
I
says
got what that
Ugin looks
was.
like a fake.
It does.
I think that he's more than likely a
The
fake.
+3 on Ugin didn't
looks
use the
good.
card's full name in the text. Okay, that's a good point. ShuXB166. So likely not real. Okay, well, at least then we know. That's the vote. Although I have... it's my turn. I kill you, monkeys. I've seen times when people have called cards out as fake and they've turned out to be real. I've also seen the other way around, too. So,
Well, I can always dream of an Ugin Planeswalker. We'll see.
right. Well, aren't we pretty sure that we're going to get an Ugin? It's just that it's whether or not this is the thing.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ugin's gonna happen. I'm actually starting to think that we might see a new Nicol Bolas as well.
Possibly.
I would
Yeah.
like to see him, in non-Grixis colors, but we'll see.
He's gonna be in Grixis colors, but that's. I would like to see a colored Ugin, like a colorless Ugin. Like, sure, he's known to be the colorless dragon, but I'm not sure if that's the way they're gonna go.
Yeah. Maybe with the time warp and the time shift, he'll have a color.
Maybe. I think that might be doubtful.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're gonna see a lot of changes in the time shift. Like, I don't know, maybe even shifted shards or wedges. I don't know, from wedges to shards.
Shift it back to like Alara shards or something like that.
Well, they've said that just the one is gonna be multicolored, so that makes me think that it's not gonna be multicolored.
Okay.
I don't know.